Sticking with oil then, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar met U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Kuala Lumpur and discussed bilateral ties as well as regional and global issues amid the ongoing trade negotiations between the two countries. Now, the meeting took place on the sidelines of the ASEAN Summit. My colleague Sumita joins in with what was really discussed. Take it away, Sumita.
That's right. Hours after he met with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Kuala Lumpur, in fact, the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar took a swipe at the Trump administration, stating that energy trade is becoming increasingly constricted. It was part of a speech that he delivered at the East Asia Summit. In fact, he also added that principles are applied selectively and what is preached is not necessarily practiced. He also added, saying that the world is inevitably going to respond to the new circumstances and that adjustments will be made and resilient solutions will be devised. He also said that multipolarity is not just here to stay, but to grow. And that the right to defend can never be compromised. Remember the External Affairs Minister, after meeting with Marco Rubio, he just made a one-line tweet. There was no handout either. There was no readout either from the Indian government, wherein the External Affairs Minister said that he appreciated the discussion with Marco Rubio on our bilateral ties as well as regional and global issues. Now, let's understand the backdrop of this. Now, Marco Rubio also, before having this meeting with External Affairs Minister, he essentially mentioned about the relationship and ties with India. He stated that the ties with Pakistan are not at the expense of a good relationship with India. In fact, ties with India are deep and historic and important, he essentially stated this. So this, even as a bilateral trade agreement is currently being negotiated, and officials say that a deal is very near to conclusion. But definitely remains to be seen how the concerns over India's energy trade with Russia will be met as far as the trade talks between both the sides are concerned.